Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'll be whipping up 3 different recipes that would impress anyone anytime, especially for a holiday event. I'll be using Sriracha and Wasabi and soy sauce almonds from Blue Diamond throughout the menu as a little flavor hack and texture hack, and I think you're really going to like what they add to each recipe because each one has a really unique flavor profile that stands out. I want to thank Blue Diamond for sponsoring this video and collaborating with me on these recipes, and can't wait to dive into them with you guys, so let's get started. Alright, so first up is going to be the dessert. I'm excited to tackle this just to get this out of the way so it's ready to go after I prepare my hot savory dishes, which is just going to be sweet and a little bit of salty. It's going to have some of that soy. I'm not going to add any salt like you would normally do to a pastry dough or a sweet tart dough. So that's going to provide the salt as well as a little bit of that roasted almond flavor as it bakes, and it's going to incorporate into the chocolate topping and the brown butter caramel beautifully, or at least I'm going to assume it's going to. So let's start in on the pâte sucrée tart dough. Going to add the butter first. It should be pretty soft. It doesn't have to be this soft. The microwave got a little away from me on that one. Sugar. And whisk this together until it's creamy, kind of slightly pale. And now I'll add 1 egg. Ooh, gonna make a mess. Flour. And slowly incorporate this. You can absolutely do this in a electric mixer if you'd like, if you have one, but if you don't, this is you can absolutely do it with your hands and just a bowl and a whisk or a fork. Should be fairly crumbly. Okay. And then probably stop with the whisk at this point. And just go with my hands. Pinch it with your fist. It should come off your hand, but at the same time, it should still be pretty, almost like Play-Doh. Pretty, not sticky, but workable. I'm going to add my almonds, but let me chop them up first. In a good amount. And you're going to chop them fine, but not into like a flour. You want them to have some sort of texture. All right, so this is about where you're going to want it, to where it's, still has some texture, but also can incorporate into the dough fairly easily. Okay, so I'm going to add this. Smells incredible. So just incorporate this how you'd want, just make sure it's through and through, and that's going to blend nicely into the dough. That's good to go. You're going to build a little lip up along the sides. Okay, cinch everything down. Okay, while the tart shell is baking away in the oven, I'm going to make my chocolate crémeux, which is like a custard, sort of like a chocolate custard topping to the caramel that I'm also going to make right now, which is going to be a brown butter pourable caramel. So it's really easy to cut with a fork and kind of oozes and stays really creamy even when it's refrigerated, and even more so when you bring it out and let it sit to get nice room temperature. Okay, so first up I'm going to pour some cream in a small pot that's on low heat. And I'm going to reserve some of this cream for my caramel. And I'm just gonna bring this to a simmer. All right, it's just about to come to a simmer. I'm actually going to take it off the heat and whisk in an egg. Right before it gets to that temperature where it's gonna instantly cook it, you know, you wanna get it in there while it's warm and kind of hot, but not boiling quite yet. And this is what's going to thicken the chocolate topping along with the chocolate. All right, you're going to gently cook this on low heat until it comes back to kind of a steam. That should be good. Take it off the heat. Slowly incorporate it into the chocolate. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit aside. And now it's time for the caramel. So for the caramel, you're gonna have a nice little hot pan going. Add your sugar to it. And you're gonna melt this down until it starts to caramelize or get that golden brown color. So it's starting to get nice and brown and just ever so slightly smoking. So this is where I'm gonna add my butter. And a little bit of cream. That should be good. It looks so good. And something about caramel. It's like just so warming. All right, put that out to the side and then pull my tart out. That looks good. Let that cool down in the fridge. Time to pour on that chocolate topping. All right, put that back in the fridge to set up. All right, so the dessert is in the fridge, setting up, and next up is going to be the side dish, which is going to be roasted squash. Here I have butternut squash and acorn squash with some mirin and honey, and I'm going to be using the Blue Diamond Sriracha almonds as like a granola topping. I'm going to make a rosemary spicy almond granola, and that's going to be really a good side dish to pair with the spicy like chicken fried steak with the Sriracha almonds as well. So let's get started on cutting the squash up. Okay, so while that is baking in the oven, I'm going to make a very simple granola with the Sriracha almonds. Brown sugar, a little bit of honey, rough chop, and some rosemary, which I'll chop as well. Just lightly, you know, at least touch each almond with the knife. Okay, chop the rosemary. Just give this a mix. And this is gonna go in the oven, the same oven that you're roasting the squash in, for about 10 to 15 minutes. Just be careful of the temperature and the color of this. All right, so the squash is roasting away in the oven, and while that's going on, I'm gonna get the last recipe done, which is the sort of like a chicken fried steak. I'm gonna make a little bit of gravy at the end. In this recipe, I'm gonna be using the Blue Diamond almonds, which is a Sriracha flavor. It's gonna make like a spicy chicken fried steak, which I'm really, really excited about. This would be a killer chicken sandwich recipe with some pickles or some slaw. Put it between a toasty sesame bun. That would be a really good idea. But today I'm going to keep it pretty simple and just bread this up, fry it, and see how it turns out. So let me grab my chicken. And this is a chicken breast that I filleted right down the middle. I butterflied it and then just pounded it out just a little bit with a pan. And I'm going to lightly flour it. Both sides. This is going to go in the egg wash. Let that sit in there for a second. Add your almonds. Mix those up. And add your chicken to the breading. You can double bread this if you want to. All right, that should be good. It should be medium to high heat. Just a nice little layer of oil on the bottom. And we're gonna do a nice shallow pan fry. Just heat the pan back up. You're gonna add some butter to it. A good amount. Maybe a little more. And this is what you're gonna make your gravy with. Simple roux, butter and flour. And then I'm gonna add some chicken stock and a touch of cream, just to make it a lighter chicken stock. You can add cream or, milk if you want. I have cream on hand. Perfect. Let's turn that down just a bit. Add some chicken stock. A little bit of salt. Good amount of pepper. A little bit of cream. Beautiful, beautiful gravy. All right, I have my squash. Ow, that's hot. And then my chicken. Let me put this right here. My granola, the spicy Sriracha almond granola, and my gravy. And it's time to plate this all out. All right, all the menu items are done. I want to thank Blue Diamond for sponsoring this video, collaborating with me on these beautiful ingredients. The Sriracha and the Wasabi and soy almonds were a beautiful addition to these recipes, and I love the way they turned out. It smells beautiful. I'm very, very excited about this chocolate tart. It looks fantastic. I feel like that turned out really, really good, above and beyond what I expected. I love desserts. I love making desserts, but I don't always execute the way I want to, and this turned out really good. But I'm really excited about the chicken fried steak, and that granola looks awfully crispy, crunchy, and spicy too. So let me dive in. Yeah, these were definitely fun, like little hacks you could do around the holidays if you want to spice up maybe even a turkey breast. Or some roast turkey legs or things like that, or even a Cornish game hen. You could bread it in these breadings and go crazy with it. Oh yeah, it's crazy. I didn't salt the chicken breast almost at all, and the almonds pick up a lot of that salty flavor. That would be an amazing chicken sandwich if you wanted to go that route. Even cut the chicken maybe a little thinner, and you could have a beautiful chicken sandwich with like maybe like an Asian slaw or something like that. Ooh. Oh wow. Oh, the mirin is really, really good. A little bit of sweetness from the honey, and then from the granola as well, you get a little bit of crunchy texture. And just a slight spice from the almonds. Very, very beautiful. And now it's on to dessert. So I already took a little wedge out of this, and I'm just gonna have at it. I'm gonna just break it a little bit smaller so I don't have too much in my mouth. And then right away you have like this ooey gooey caramel and the chocolate. Wow. The wasabi in the crust is a very unique flavor that kind of pulls the caramel and the chocolate together. Has just like a little bit of that mustard radish spice that you wouldn't really associate with desserts. But wasabi and green tea and a lot of these flavors are being incorporated into like ice creams and different souffles and things like that. Chefs are having fun with these ideas, and this dessert speaks volumes to that idea, and it just works so well together. I had a blast making these recipes. It was so much fun, very unique flavors, and just a fun way to play with an already seasoned product. So I had a blast making these. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe to my channel, comment on this video telling me what you liked, what you didn't like, and future video requests, so leave that in the comments below. Give this video a big old like, and I will see you guys next time with another recipe. Later, folks.